Pete Alonso with a chance to end the season or give the Mets the lead. Now, we should mention that in the 8th inning, there was a key moment in which Alonso dropped seventh inning
because there were still runners on base. It was second and third. And I think it was Contreras, right? Contreras was up 2 outs in second and third. And at this point, the Brewers had already taken a 2-0 lead, but a foul pop right kind of past the dugout. Down,
easy to catch. Easy catchable base. Ball. And it just clonks off of Alonso's glove, tumbles to the ground. And they pan to him. He says a 4-letter word that starts with F very clearly. And that image of him dropping that pop-up felt like potentially the last moment of Pete as a Met, right? Which would have been unfortunate. Producer Andrew Hartz was at Citi Field for this moment and it said to us that basically people were ready to burn jerseys. Like it was tear down the pictures of Polar Bear all around the stadium, get him out of here in free agency. He's been horrendous over the last couple of weeks. I believe 5 for his last 38 or something abysmal.
Just strikeouts, terrible. And Pete's saying, oh, I feel good, just waiting for that result. It's like, you don't look good. It was not looking good. Of course, I understand him staying positive. That's fine. But like it was not looking good. He was not giving us reasons to think there was a big swing coming. Now, Diaz bails him out. Diaz strikes out Contreras. And so it's still 2 runs. But that is still looming.
But then Pete comes up with runners on first and third and 1 out. And it's like, he just rolls over a ball. I mean, he's not fleet of foot nor hand, nor leg. There is no fleetness in his body.
No.
He rolls one over. That's double play. That's the season. Thanks for coming. That's maybe the career, the tenure of Alonso in Queens. And I'm watching this game at home, my parents' house, with my cousin and my aunt and uncle who live in New York and who are all Mets fans. Okay. And I turn to him and I say, you see how this is going to go, right? And he goes, I see how it's going to go. And I said, but what if he does? And he goes, what if he does? And Pete did. Pete Alonso. Okay. Let's talk about him as a character for a second. Pete is a dork. Pete's a bit of a doofus. I don't mean that in a negative way. Pete is jolly. Pete is not like every other professional baseball player. Pete is not cool, I would say. Pete is not particularly cool. Even after he rips this home run, his celebration around the bases is like adorable more than it is exhilarating, if that makes sense, right? And for Pete, who his entire time in Queens has been living in the shadow of his rookie season, which was, he's never been that good in a regular season since he came up in 2019. And for him to have this moment, hitting a Devin Williams changeup on the outer half, lasering it over the fence in right field, over the outstretched jump of Saul Frelick for a 3-run ding-dong, giving the New York Mets the lead. It was gasp-inducing.
That's exactly right. I gasped. I kind of not shrieked, but I kind of had to. I emitted some noise that was not, it's not excitement, right? Because we're not Mets fans, but it's just like oh my God. It's like, oh, no, what? I've been saying all season, as we've been spending all of our time totally understandably talking about Francisco Lindor, that at some point the focus would turn back to Pete Alonso as his free agency got nearer and nearer with every game. And as the Mets postseason odds went up and down and up and down and up and down, and Pete's playing worse and worse and worse as the Mets season is coming down. And it's like, we're still having a good time because the Mets have this amazing chance and everyone's having fun and Lindor is amazing and all these things. But at some point, we're going to still be talking about Pete Alonso because he was the story coming into this Mets season. And for it to come back around to him and for us, Yeah, I mean, boy, there are a lot of even though that drop pop up didn't end up leading to more runs, just the 15 minutes afterwards was just
He was a
smell
villain.
you later. It was like thanks for nothing, Pete. Like it's not hard to find those tweets. And then to do this, to hit this go ahead home run, the first opposite field home run Devin Williams has ever allowed to a right-handed hitter, was again only possible when you have the kind of just raw strength that he does, and it was unbelievable. So that's just one of the most incredible postseason home runs we've ever seen.